on during this time. I feel there's no one to save me. This all and nothing really got away, you're driving me crazy. I need somebody to hear, somebody to know, somebody to have, somebody to hold. It's easy to say, but it's never the same. I guess I kinda like the way you numbed all the pain. Now the day bleeds into nightfall, and you're not here to get me through it all. I let my guard down, and then you pulled the rug. I was getting kinda used to being someone you love. I'm going under in this time. I feel there's no one to turn to. This all and nothing way of loving, gonna be sleeping without you. Now I need somebody to know, somebody to hear, somebody to have, just to know how it feels. It's easy to say, but it's never the same. I guess I kinda like the way you help me escape. Now the day bleeds into nightfall, and you're not here to get me through it all. I let my guard down, and then you pulled the rug. I was getting kinda used to being someone you love. And I tend to close my eyes when it hurts. Sometimes I fall into your arms. I'll be safe in your sound till I come back around. For now the day bleeds. For now the day bleeds. For now the day bleeds. I was getting kinda used to being someone you love. I was getting kinda used to being someone you love. I was getting kinda used to being someone you love.
I wanna wake up every morning feeling better, cause I know you're sleeping by my side. And every moment we're together, I remember just to keep it all for you and I see that body in the sunlight, feeling the heat and it feels right. I wanna do this for the rest of my life. Oh, I know you know the vibe. I wanna stay with you every night. You and me underneath the lights. I'm always good when you're by my side. I know you're on my mind. You really make me come alive. I wanna be here for the rest of my life. Looking for sun rays, needing them good days. Fly me away, away. You're my holiday. Cool like the ocean, lost in emotion. Find me away. Strawberry that body in the sunlight. Feeling the heat and it feels right. I wanna do this for the rest of my life. Oh, I know you're on my mind. You really make me come alive. I wanna be here for the rest of my life. Looking for sun rays, needing them good days. Fly me away, away. You're my holiday. Cool like the ocean, lost in emotion. Find me away, away. You're my holiday. Whenever you're here, it's a good time. Strawberry shirts in the sunshine, ice cold drinks till the moonlight. You're my holiday. Whenever you're here, it's a good time. Strawberry shirts in the sunshine, ice cold drinks till the moonlight. You're my holiday. You're my holiday. You're my holiday.
Max, 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 super Max, Max, super, super Max, 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 super Max, Max, super, super Max, 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 super Max, Max, super, super Max, 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 super Max, Max. Ik mis geen race, heb scheid aan mijn centen. Ik zie Max zijn mooiste momenten. Hij is de king van Barcelona. Rijdt alles zoek van Spa tot Monza. De geur van rubber en smeltend asfalt. Ik juich als Max weer één voorbij knalt. Zijn inhaalacties zijn bijzonder. Het is een baas, een wereldwonder. Yo fucking ho, niet meer normaal. Hij is een held en gaat maximaal. Fucking bizar, een fenomeen. Hij gaat naar de top, Max is de nummer 1. Yo fucking ho, niet meer normaal. Hij is een held en gaat maximaal. Fucking bizar, een fenomeen. Hij gaat naar de top, Max is de nummer 1.
Bizar! Fucking bizar! Ja, dan zit je naar dingen te kijken en te open. En daar is hij. Max Verstappen in de laatste bocht in Barcelona. Yo hey! Yo ho!
Max, 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 super Max, Max, super, super 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 Max, 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 super Max, Max. Jarenlang zit je te kijken en te hopen op succes. Zodra je Max ziet racen op de baan, dan denk je yes. Hij is niet te passeren, niemand krijgt het cadeau. Hij is een pure racer, vang ze op en goed no.
Hij is de nieuwe baas.
Hij is de nieuwe baas.
Max is de nieuwe baas.
Hij is de nieuwe baas.
Ja, wij gaan helemaal los.
Hij is de nieuwe bos. Super Max, ik ben apetrots. Yo fucking ho, niet meer normaal. Hij is een held en gaat maximaal. Fucking bizar, een fenomeen. Hij gaat naar de top, Max is de nummer 1. Yo fucking ho, niet meer normaal. Hij is een held en gaat maximaal. Fucking bizar, een fenomeen. Hij gaat naar de top, Max is de nummer 1.
Yo, fucking hell, wat bizar. Ongelooflijk. Sportoverwinningen zijn zo mooi. En deze is de allermooiste die ik in mijn leven gezien heb. Jongen, jongen, jongen.
Max, 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 super Max, Max, super, super 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 Max, 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 super Max, Max, super. we go.
Here I am, a brand new track. I made it 'cause you want me back. It's on for me, but it took a while. We did it all in a possible style. I got my rage in generation around the world across the nation. What I lost, proof by this track. Put your hands up, special, see it back. Here I am, a brand new track. I made it 'cause you want me back. It's on for me, but it took a while. We did it all in a possible style. I got my rage in generation around the world across the nation. What I lost, proof by this track. Put your hands up, special, see it back. Here I am, a brand new track. I made it 'cause you want me back. All for one and one.
Max, Max, Super Max, Max, Super, Super Max, 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 Super Max, Max, Super, Super Max, 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 Super Max, Max, Super, Super Max, 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 Super Max, Max. Ik mis geen race, heb scheid aan mijn centen. Ik zie Max zijn mooiste momenten. Hij is de king van Barcelona. Rijdt alles zoek van Spa tot Monza. De geur van rubber en smeltend asfalt. Ik juich als Max weer één voorbij knalt. Zijn inhaalacties zijn bijzonder. Het is een baas, een wereldwonder. Yo fucking ho, niet meer normaal. Hij is een held en gaat maximaal. Fucking bizar, een fenomeen. Hij gaat naar de top, Max is de nummer 1. Yo fucking ho, niet meer normaal. Hij is een held en gaat maximaal. Fucking bizar, een fenomeen. Hij gaat naar de top, Max is de nummer 1.
Bizar! Fucking bizar! Ja, dan zit je naar dingen te kijken en te open. En daar is hij. Max Verstappen in de laatste bocht in Barcelona. Yo hey! Yo ho!
Max, 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 Super Max, Max, Super, Super 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 Max, 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 Super Max, Max.
Jarenlang zit je te kijken en te hopen op succes. Zodra je Max ziet racen op de baan, dan denk je yes. Hij is niet te passeren, niemand krijgt het cadeau. Hij is een pure racer, vangt ze op en goed no.
Hij is de nieuwe baas.
Hij is de nieuwe baas.
Max is de nieuwe baas.
Hij is de nieuwe baas.
Ja, wij gaan helemaal los.
Hij is de nieuwe bos. Supermax, Supermax, ik ben apetrots.
Yo fucking ho, niet meer normaal. Hij is een held en gaat maximaal. Fucking bizar, een fenomeen. Hij gaat naar de top, Max is de nummer 1. Yo fucking ho, niet meer normaal. Hij is een held en gaat maximaal. Fucking bizar, een fenomeen. Hij gaat naar de top, Max is de nummer 1.
Yo, fucking hell, wat bizar! Ongelooflijk! Sportoverwinningen zijn zo mooi. En deze is de allermooiste die ik in mijn leven gezien heb. Jongen, jongen, jongen.
Max, 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 Super Max, Max, Super, Super 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 Max, 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 Super Max, Max. Heel de wereld zal zijn naam scanderen. Supermax, een kampioen. Hij leeft voor het legioen. Supermax, een fenomeen. Zoals hij is er maar één. Supermax, een kampioen. Wie kan daar nog iets aan doen? Supermax, een fenomeen. Hij is de nieuwe nummer 1. Yo hey, yo ho. Supermax, max, max, supermax, max, max. Yo hey, yo ho. Supermax, max, max, supermax, max, max. Yo hey, yo ho. Supermax, max, max, supermax, max, max. Yo hey, yo ho. Supermax, max, supermax. Supermax, een kampioen. Hij leeft voor het legioen. Supermax, een fenomeen. Zoals hij is er maar één. Yo hey, yo ho. Supermax, max, max, supermax, max, max. Yo hey, yo ho. Supermax, max, max, supermax, max, max. Yo hey, yo ho. Supermax, max, max, supermax, max, max. Yo hey, yo ho. Supermax, max, supermax.
Party, trying my best to meet somebody, but everybody around me's falling in love to our song. Yeah, hate it, taking a shot 'cause I can't take it, but I don't think that they make anything that strong, so I hold on. Yeah, I'm so tired of love songs, tired of love songs, tired of love songs, tired of love. Just wanna go home, wanna go home, wanna go home. Oh, so tired of love songs, tired of love songs, tired of love songs, tired of love. I'm tired of love songs, tired of love songs, tired of love songs, tired of love. Wanna go home, wanna go home, wanna go home. Oh, so tired of love songs, tired of love songs, tired of love songs, tired of love. Just wanna go home. I don't think they make all. I'm tired of love songs, tired of love songs, tired of love songs, tired of love. Wanna go home, wanna go home, wanna go home. Oh, so tired of love songs, tired of love songs, tired of love songs, tired of love. Strangers, killing my loneliness with strangers. When they leave, I go back to my soul. I hold on, it's like heaven, lost in the sound. Buzz cut season, like you're still around. Can't unmiss you, and I need you now. Yeah. I'm so tired of love songs, tired of love songs, tired of love songs, tired of love. Just wanna go home, wanna go home, wanna go home. Oh, so tired of love songs, tired of love songs, tired of love songs, tired of love. Just wanna go home, wanna go home, wanna go home. I'm so tired of love songs, 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 tired of love. I'm tired of love songs, tired of love songs, tired of love songs, tired of love. Wanna go home, wanna go home, wanna go home.
symptoms of a cold war. All of our troubles are make believe. We're dying on our own soil. Calling your friends up to the teeth. There's nothing for you, nothing for me. Nothing for sale, nothing for free. You wanna take my life and fade away. Take me away tonight. I'll return as a soldier. Make my way to the borderline. Find a bridge to get over.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to SF2R. I am your host, SFR Jinx, joined tonight by TES Swayze, soon to be SFR Swayze, if I'm not mistaken, here at Azerbaijan. And yeah, welcome in, Swayze.
It's good to be here, man. Thanks for having me. Always a pleasure to help out when I can. Last time I was here, pre-season, it looked really exciting. I've not managed to catch up with some of the races that's already been, but I have seen some of the racing this circuit over this previous weekend with the Tier 1 and the Tier 2 racing. If it goes anything like pre-season with the shortness of the cars, we could see some spectacular overtakes and racing here tonight.
Well, yeah, indeed. I mean, obviously, we're running a bit more of a different format to what you previously commentated on. We're on the double sprint and single feature race, along with qualifying. Also, a bit of a strange one for the mix is I believe we have something like 9 drivers. 9 of our drivers are in like the top 100 time trial here tonight. So, yeah, we could be expecting some rather rapid times. I've seen some 48s in time trial, some 49s as well. So
That's
I
incredible.
wouldn't be expecting anything much further from that. Obviously, with it being a street circuit, it being tight, not as tight as last week where we were
That's
at
only
Monaco.
it's only about 10 seconds slower than Formula One, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we are looking at about a 10-second deficit.
Oh well, that's
and
different. That changes things.
well, remember I said that that 48s. I don't quite think we're going to be looking at 48s in qualifying. Maybe 48s is the fastest lap of the race, but definitely not for qualifying.
I've seen it rain back here. I've seen something new given to me by a new edition of SFR.
Oh, my career in my team has been rain every single time I've gone to Baku so far, and we are 4 seasons. So, all I know is these guys are in for a bit of hell because the grip at this track isn't necessarily the best at all times. But then you throw in the mix, these are F2 cars with a lot less downforce. You're gonna have a bit of fun. Cars are gonna be a bit slidey.
Full wets
EJ
by
Danny.
the look of it, not intermediates. Full wets.
We don't have intermediates.
Is it not? Oh, there you go.
We don't have intermediates. In Formula 2, we have the extreme wets, and then we have, I think, what have we got? I think we've got a set of hards, I think we've got a set of mediums, softs, and super softs. I think that's how it goes. But I don't really see the hards often, so I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't get them. I'm not too sure what the compound strategy is for tonight, but I'm pretty sure with everyone having a free tyre choice for the feature race, that'll be quite interesting.
Go along.
Dry quali. Oh! Qualifying finishes dry. So you might see a lot of drivers wait for it to stop raining before they go out on the wets and dry the track up as much as possible.
I mean, that would save you risking accidentally binning your car in the wet conditions to a state where you can no longer continue in qualifying.
Yeah, I mean, it's a long lap as well. You carry damage, and you're carrying it for some time. It's nowhere near as long as, you know, the likes of
Well, it's easy enough in the dry though.
Jeddah, but
Easier enough in the dry around here to actually full on kill yourself. So in the wet, I can only imagine it's fun.
yeah, it's
Oh,
I mean, I found that there was
shoe just bounced off the wall
dry.
there.
Well, did he? Has he got damage, or are we seeing?
No, it was a side of the wheel to the wall connection.
Well,
Should
we're
be
currently
alright.
watching DJ Danny. I believe it's his first race in SFR. He's a fellow friend, well, a friend of mine. I've commentated on him before. I know what his pace is like, so I'm expecting some pretty rapid lap times. At one point, DJ Danny held the fastest lap around Singapore in the wet on time trial. So he knows how to get around the wet. He's not afraid of a bit of water. Is our DJ Danny here? As he's coming through sector 1. Obviously, DRS not active due to the torrential downpour that is not quite a torrential downpour. I'm quite surprised that Michael Massey hasn't red flagged the session for the time being. But we move on that one. Obviously, I don't know if you've been keeping a bit of a follow-on here with F2 Sways, but I've got my expectations for tonight. Have you got anyone you're keen to keep an eye out on?
Well, you know, I know from previous that Carbon can be extremely quick, especially in an F2 car, and I think he was not really showing it in pre-season last time I was here, so it'd be nice to see what Carbon can do and if he'll be up there, so I'm going to keep an eye on him tonight, I think. But there's definitely some interesting people in there to keep an eye on, that's for sure. I mean, Evan Highlands won here in Tier 2, so he's got track knowledge around here and has a chance at being really fast as well.
DJ Danny got a bit of a love-making machine on with the wall towards the end of Sector 2, just before he comes down the hill, but we can forgive that when he's got another lap in him anyway. So that's not a massive issue. Just a couple of things I want to mention as well. Stomping Penguin, thank you for the subscription, 2 months, and same with you, SFR Leclerc. Thank you for the subscription for 6 months. DJ Daddy 205. Again, I think he lost a bit of time when he hit the wall, but we shall see. For some reason, it's not letting me move that, but Big Will is on our lap as well. So he's coming through Sector 1. Obviously, Will had a pretty decent start to the season as well. I mean, quite a strong showing in both races in the first race. When obviously we only ran the two race system, the whole sprint and feature. And then last week at Monaco, he had a brilliant weekend in the car. He had some really good finishes. So I'm going to be looking for him to do something similar tonight. I know he doesn't mind a bit of a street track. Does our Will.
Yeah, well, I know that as well. He's a competent driver, but SFR Leclerc as well, also known for street tracks. You know, you see him there, he's already sat in the garage on Super Soft waiting, which does actually bring me up the question. I mean, Yes, the computer says it's going to be dry towards the end of qualifying, but do you bank on that, or do you go out and put yourself a banker lap in anyway?
Yeah, you'd go and put a banker lap in, and you'd make sure that that you've got a decent lap set, because obviously if I'm not mistaken from last week, the top 10 from qualifying here get reversed for the sprint race. Then the top 10 from them get reversed for the second sprint race, and then it goes back to the qualifying from this race. So a bank lap's not a bad option, as far big Will goes. 2.9 slower than Paul. 2.9 slower than Paul, and DJ Danny is a very strong driver, and he improves even further. Obviously, some time there to be found for sure from Big Will. Also, yeah, Leclerc makes a good point. One of our drivers here tonight isn't just in the top 100 of time trial for this track. He is first on time trial for this track. And that's not even on his friends list. Well, that is on his friends list, but it's the TT for the world that he is first. So we're going to be looking for a pretty rapid time. Fins is also 5th in the world as well, from what I've been told. The tyre options we have for the dry weather, by the way, Sways, are the super softs and the mediums.
Yeah, I'm just seeing a few drivers sat in the pits on super softs. It's been a while since I've seen super softs. Oof.
Obviously, I forgot to put that up, so thank you for reminding me. Super softs, a set of tyres that, like you said, it's been a while since we've seen them. I mean, I was talking with the missus the other day about back in the day of the super softs, the hyper softs, and the ultra softs, starting to show our age there a little bit. You mentioned those sets of tyres to most F1 fans these days, and they'll go, "What tyres?"
Oh, just got into it with it because the
been
message
enabled.
just flashed up. Yes, DRS has been enabled. It's stopped raining. Goose is out there on a lap right now, but I don't know whether he'll complete it or whether he'll just bail and go in now at this point.
I think at this point, like you said, the bank lap is there. He's already.
Oh! Big impact with the wall. He's gone into AI.
He's missing a front right end plate, but as I've said several times in the past, whilst these cars do need their aerodynamical grip, clearly,
Oh, careful.
they don't depend on it as much as F1 cars do, so, you know, it's not going to make as much of an impact. I could probably see him bailing on this lap, and I wouldn't be too surprised if one of the drivers that is...
Yeah, and get ready for the dry time so you can get out as much track time in the dry as you possibly can. You might need another, it might give you that extra time to squeeze an extra run in on the dry compound if you're first out there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing Rosberg, Carbon, Leclerc, Finn's Punitive Shoe, and Highlands all on the super softs at the moment, as Stomping Penguin is completely the wrong way around. I'm seeing them on the super softs, but I'm not seeing the track dry enough. Not even from, like, the, what would you call it, the T-cam? I'm not even seeing it dry enough from there, so I think if those guys all put...
Just going to wait for it to dry out a little bit.
Well, I've been told by Finns that the super softs are 5 seconds quicker than the wets at the moment.
We've only got 20, just over 19 minutes left in qualifying.
Penguin is just going to do his final lap, just to put that bank lap in on the wets. Obviously, a lap is a lap, and if you complete it, you complete it. If you don't, you don't. Obviously, that maybe him just going around and creating that final dry line may help the drivers.
It's definitely
Maybe
not
it
coming
will.
down. The track does look dry when you go actually on board with Penguin. It looks like it's drying out rather fast.
It looks greasy. If you know what I mean.
It always looks greasy, it's a road.
Yeah, but more greasy than it normally does. looks a lot more matte, less shiny, but it does still look as if, you know, the wrong tyres at the wrong time could be an issue. And by the looks of it, watching his onboard, maybe it is time for him to come in.
So we'll look at Demonic Angel quickly, because he is out there on the Super Soft.
Very, very, very good point. Obviously, first driver out in the Super Softs will be able to tell based
He's not
on
looking
his...
like he's sliding anyway, looking like he's got full grip. Bit of curb there. Validated his
Okay,
lap.
but even though the car started to jump the curb and slide a bit, I mean, he still managed to find the grip. So, yeah, maybe Stomping Penguin should come into the Super Softs. I've also been told that it's dropping by a second a minute at the moment. Second a minute is a lot.
Yeah.
You know, we like I said, we're looking at like the 48s, 49s, in like from the I'd say from the 48s to the 53s for qualifying here in the dry.
I don't think it'll be a case of last one over the line though, because I think 17 minutes is a long time for the track to dry up.
Yeah, and it's also a case of you don't want to ruin your chances on the super softs if you go out too early and, you know, spin them out a bit too much. Before you know it, you put unnecessary wear on them on a track that's not quite perfect for them. It looks like Demonic Angel is coming into the pits as well.
I think he had a big impact with the wall through the fast S section.
Yeah, not too sure what happened. I was on the TV camera, so obviously he was just out of view when it happened, but he did seem to bounce back towards the track in a bit of an unnatural manner.
As Penguin has put it into the wall and definitely lost some carbon fibre there. Those tyres probably overheating now on the dry track.
Yeah, I spoke to Carbon last week about his idea when it comes to qualifying. Obviously, last week was Monaco, not the easiest track to qualify on, but when you've got half an hour of qualifying and all the drivers going out at different times, it's a lot easier to do than it is in F1. Obviously, I spoke to him and said, you know, how do you go about qualifying? And he said, you know, you can go out pretty early, get yourself a time in, wait for the track to evolve a bit because everyone will come out and go again then right at the end. Or you can go out, you know, in the middle. He said it doesn't really matter how many times you go out because the tyres still feel good and can still post competitive lap times on your third outing. So maybe the drivers are just waiting for that. Oh, that's really, really quick.
What's really quick?
How fast Stomping Penguin was coming into corner just before the bottom before the hill. He came in slightly fast.
Sorry, we're going in that way now. Go and get that damage repaired, put on the pressure of the super softs and head back out, see if we can improve on his time.
I would be surprised if we didn't see Stomping Penguin the first driver out on the super softs. I know how he likes to get out pretty quick when the tyres are their best, so...
Well, be surprised,
or when the tyres swap over.
Demonic Angel's already been out on the super soft.
Yeah. Okay, first driver to set a lap time on the super softs, then sways.
Yeah, no lap time, yeah, but he has been out there on them.
Testing the waters a bit, we'll say. Obviously, the drivers have a better idea of what we're looking at weather-wise over the weekend. We, if I'm not mistaken, run it on approximate forecast, so you know this could be a case of we might have a full wet weekend.
We'll see a bit of action soon anyway, because you know, into the final 14 minutes, you're going to want in these cars, if you're looking at a 2-minute 30, and all the action involved to get the car out and out of the pit lane as well. Most drivers are if they're only going to go for a 1 lap, we'll leave with 3 minutes on the clock. That's to give them that safety cushion to create a gap if they need to, and out lap. You know, get the car ready. But those who feel like they need 2 shots, surely they're going to be hitting the track any moment now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a bit of a fan of going out pretty. As we actually see someone going out, let's be further down the grid. That is one of. It looks to be possibly Big Will.
Yeah, I was about to say it looked like a Big Will's car.
It is. That is Big Will in the dams.
That track looks dry. Really dry.
Yeah, that really does look dry, and I wouldn't be surprised if the sun starts to come out soon. Yeah, as I've been hearing from Finns now, the track is fully dry. But obviously, if the weather was to throw a bit of a caution weekend, and you could have a dry sprint 1, a wet sprint 2, and a dry feature, or a dry wet, or a wet dry, or a wet. That was a band once, wasn't it? Girl band, wet.
Yeah, I think it was a boy band.
Was it a boy band? I can't remember.
A girl band.
I'm too young for this, okay? I've only been around for 21 and a half years, just over a half.
For my time.
Actually.
But yeah.
Before your time, Swizz. Is there anything that was before your time? I'm kidding, Swizz.
Cavemen.
I'm kidding. We love you. Cavemen. Yeah, cavemen. I mean, good point. Good point. You were around for the first set of tattoos, weren't you? But no, apparently we're not looking at any more rain for the weekend, so that is a bonus. But like I said, it should be on approximate weather. We may end up seeing rain, even if these guys think we're not. As Big Will rounds the final S, coming down towards a slight kink in the main straight now. Do you call this the S is a main part of the main straight, or do you call them the S is before the main straight?
I mean, you line them up right. You can make an overtake through there. Not as in go for the overtake through there, although it is possible, but highly dangerous. But if you can carry more speed than your opponent, who just tweak the line slightly different, it's very easy to get alongside someone even before the DRS line. So for me, it's part of the main straight.
Yeah, I mean, I call the last
you're
corner
flat out,
of this
aren't
track the one at the I call the last corner of this track the one at the bottom of the hill. I call it the last turn, but a lot of people say that the S's are turns, but I don't class them as turns. As Will unsurprisingly posts the fastest first sector, as I have been told, and you know we have mentioned that the track is now bone dry. As Will seems to make it look bone dry as well. I mean, he's not seemed to slide once, so very comfortable through Castle as well.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good exit.
It's weird because Castle looks like it's more turns than it really is. You can pretty much,
It looks so much wider in these cars.
It does. It does. What are these? 1 meter 60 wide, I think. 1 meter 65. If I'm not mistaken, in comparison to the 2 meter wide F1 cars. Obviously, some cars are electing to go a couple of centimeters narrower, and some looking to just push the limit a little bit. As Carbon's egging on Will, fastest sector 1 and fastest sector 2, again, unsurprisingly, as he goes a 152.6 and will more than likely go for a second lap.
I think he
as
might.
We may have... I think we've got maybe something Penguin next? No, he is just
Rosberg, it's going to be Rosberg.
Rosberg. Rosberg with the DRS as wide as he can get it, and as early as he can get it for that matter. 151.8, that's a strong time.
I tell you, he was looking good in the Tier 2 race for his times, and throughout training on time trial, I know he was down in the 38th in the F1, so...
Kind of shoe next across the line. Again, another strong driver that's been seeing some really consistent times this season in both, I believe, Tier 1 and in F2. Front of shoe, only
Nice
a
line.
tenth slower than Rosberg, and
I'll
that
tell
is
you what.
not a bad feat at all.
Benz was looking fast.
I think Big Will, I'll find out now when he gets to the bottom of the hill, but he is looking rapid through Sector 2.
Benz is on his way to the line. DRS is open.
Who's goes fastest?
49.7.
49.7. Will has a faster Sector 2 as well.
Getting quicker. Will was getting put down.
Will making the track as narrow as he can. Don't want to crack too much now. He looks like he's coming into the pits actually. Where are we looking?
Most of the cars now out there on and out lap, just a few cars remain in the pit.
Oh, Stumping Penguin, my bad. I forgot he was actually on the lap time, as I'd gone past him twice, as he comes across the line with a 1:57.3. More than likely
Rosberg,
going to go
if he's going,
again.
if he's coming to the line,
He's just lifted.
he's going to box then.
Danny next to start a lap, and I think it is Demonic Angel that's next to post a lap time with 6 minutes 45 left in the session, and he goes 52.4, only 2 tenths faster than Big Will, as I believe DJ Danny will be the next to set a lap time, but of course, as long as... Oh, Finn's going to set a lap time. No, he's not. I got... the drivers that were there confused for a second. Then, like I said, I think Lukey Doo is the next to post a lap time. Again, another driver who I have seen previously. I don't think we've seen him here yet. I think we have actually, maybe. But there are some drivers that turned up last week that threw a spanner in the works. I mean, Goose had a good weekend, and Will had a good weekend. It was mad. Monaco threw something at us that I didn't think we'd see in F2, but I expected something mad this season, and I kind of got what I was asking for in it.
I'll definitely have to go back and check that out.
Yeah, we had, apart from, I think we had one technical issue right at the very, very end, but, yeah, both me and Carbon, who didn't race last week, had a whale of a time on commentary as Lukey Doo rounds himself the final in the S section to come up towards the line. And I actually believe that maybe clear. DJ Danny goes 51.0. And Lukey Doo goes 50.3. We now look for SF2R Carbon is there, but Generation A is...
Leclerc did invalidate his hot lap.
I think Evan Highlands in the Carlin is the next car to cross the line on a lap by the looks of it. Yeah.
It is purple in Sector 2 according to the track map for me.
That's what I've just seen, and I mean Evan Highlands has
had
a brilliant season so far.
Yeah, I mean he won here on Monday in the Tier 2 race.
He did, yeah. He had a brilliant race. Credit to him.
But he is pitting. I think he did knock a wall. I think I saw him knock a wall with his back tyre. I'm not sure if he did anything to it or not.
I'm just going to go and have a look at something real quick. Just to make sure that I know where we're at. I don't have the ability to see what I was looking for, but if I'm not mistaken, SFR Leclerc currently heads the championship. With an incredible performance, actually, at Monaco. Haven't quite got the updated standings for that yet through to ourselves.
That was an incredible
So-
catch in the middle of the castle section from Leclerc there, just pushing on a hot lap. Generation E just in front of him, but I mean, it twitched on him, and he caught it and just carried on like it was nothing.
Yeah, I do have to apologise to Carbonate, who posted a 50.5 whilst I was looking for the standings to see where we were at with lap times, as Leclerc is on a
Generation
brilliant
A,
lap.
I think Generation A is on the lap as well, just in front. But
Yeah, I don't
Leclerc's
know
getting
if
a
that's
good
going to
toe.
help Leclerc.
It's getting a good toe. Generation
It's
A.
going to be a wild
Oh.
time, 49.5.
That is a fast time. We approach 2 minutes
Generation A.
30.
That's unfortunate because that means now Leclerc is, well, going to have to come back in on low fuel mode, as Generation A is lucky enough to be able to go for that second lap, able to push and maybe find those 5/10ths that he originally couldn't find and put himself on pole for the feature race.
Carbon, if
currently
it's coming to the line. Did improve, but not enough.
improved, but not in position.
That is really close between Generation A, Lucky Do, and SFR Carbon at the moment.
SFR Goose. So currently, as things stands for the first race, the driver on pole will be SFR Big Will, currently running down in 10th place. Remember, you don't get as many points for the sprint races as you do for the feature race, but with that being said, points are still points, and whilst this is a solo man's game, a little bit, you know, everyone's real goal is to get to Formula 1 from here. SFR Goose with a 51.5. Whilst it is a single man's game, the Constructors' Championship does really help as well. As SFR Big Will is now coming to try and gain himself back that 10th position. Every single driver down here now in the bottom half of the I'd say from 10th down is fighting for that beloved P10. Big Will now comes across the line with a P8 51.6. Evan Hiles just started his lap as well, so we'll keep an eye on that. We'll go through and check Generation A's now. Did find some time, about 2/10. Enough to put him third.
Rosberg is on his way to the line. He's currently sat in 9th.
He is flying as well. Finished 7th, first driver to cross the line on the checkered flag. So
Who is
who
gonna
can
be
get
next?
it done?
DJ Danny is not.
Stopped at the top of Castle? He is stopped at the top of Castle.
What to do is getting out of the way.
Probably on a slow lap. All these drivers are going to have to be staying out the way here now.
But it's going to be Goose if he's going to the line. It looked like it. No, he's pulling in.
He's pulled out as well. Will is
Penguin.
pulled out. Penguin. What can Penguin do here to upset the balance for P10?
I'm going to come back to Evan Island. He's having to negotiate all the traffic and not actually set a time yet in qualifying.
Doesn't move. Improves, but doesn't move. Evan Hiles, like you said, hasn't set a time, but could take pole position.
I don't think so. I think he had too much traffic in his way during the lap.
He might have, yeah. P7 knocking Big Will down to P10, which is exactly what the man himself was going to want out of that. I believe now that everyone has finished their laps, and we are just looking now for.
Yeah, Big Will is out of it, and I think it's only Stomping Penguin and Big Will. Maybe Generation A unless he's on one. I don't think he is. He's out of
No,
it.
Generation A looks to be slow.
Yeah, so all drivers on track are on an in-lap.
They are indeed. So, if I'm not mistaken, as Jamie would usually say, feel free to retire on track because it does look like everyone is now out. Punitive Shoes should also be out as well. He is. So, yeah, Big Will and Generation A are the last two on track. And they're both on a slow lap. In fact, they are right next to each other, if anything. Again, SF2R Big Will and Generation A, two Dams drivers. Really, really slowly. Might as well go to the line. Big Will comes. Ooh, Big Will chooses not to.
Little moment there.
As
top
Will
four,
just wins the race to the line between himself and Generation A. Top four looking very, very frightening. Only drivers to drop into the 49s, as we've just had all of the the remaining legitimate drivers from Formula 2 join the grid, apparently.
That was
Strange.
weird. That's weird. But, oh well, we move on. The top four, they're very close. And only the four drivers that actually broke into the 49s.
Yeah.
Everybody else is the
quite.
150s.
Carbon had the wrong setup. But
Oh no,
as things
we shut up.
stand, for the feature race, your pole position is SFR Leclerc in the high-tech. Following him is his teammate Finn's. By the way, Leclerc getting those 4 beloved points from pole position. Generation A will line up third, DJ Danny in fourth, Lukey Doo fifth, and SFR Carbon on the wrong setup in sixth. Evan Highlands, who has had such a brilliant start to the season, will start seventh with Rosberg in eighth. Goose in ninth with Big Will in 10th, and Punitive Shoe, Demonic Angel, Stomping Penguin, and James all rounding out the 11 to 14 spots, respectively. However, that's not quite how the grid is going to look for the first race, as the top 10 will be completely backwards. Obviously, we're going to have 3 minutes now for drivers to sort their strategy out, which they shouldn't need to, as it is a sprint race. 11 laps for the first sprint, 11 for the second, and 15 for the feature. Medium compound tyres to be used, and like I said, Hub being reversed, so Big Will is on pole with Goose in second place. Rosberg in third, with Evan Highland looking to grab, a decent amount of points from this sprint race. Starting a lot higher than his rivals so far in. And Carbon, like I said, a guy who admitted he was on the wrong setup. He's in fifth, so maybe this can help. The balance of that setup choice of his. Do in sixth, DJ Danny in seventh, and Generation A eighth. Finns and Leclerc, 2 high-tech drivers, starting side by side in 9th and 10th, respectively, with Punitive Shoe, Demonic Angel, Stomping Penguin, and James starting 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th.
From my own experience, I'll tell you something. I don't know about F2 cars, but if it works much the same, it's going to be a track where I think you're always going to be involved in a battle for the place, whether it's regaining it or trying to defend it, unless you've got the ability to break that 1 second gap to DRS. That is the critical thing to be able to do, I think, track, if you need to be able to try and have a chance at moving on after you've made an overtake. Stuck within that DRS train, there's always that chance that they, they come back at you, and it's the key factor I think tonight. That and safety cars.
Yeah, there's another league I watch in the European region, over down under, and they've got a new league, and I mean their drivers are split. I think their whole grid, all 20 cars, is split by I think about 8/10 of a second in F2 cars, and it is insane how hard. I watched the race back quite recently, actually, just as a bit of prep work to see what it was like F2 cars, and I mean, yeah, like you said, if you can't break that 1 second gap, which those drivers really couldn't, it is not easy. It does come down to your pit stops, but obviously you don't get a pit stop in this unless you get damage and need to. As we're starting to look towards the first formation lap of the evening. Obviously, if you don't have the ability to break that 1 second gap and you're winning it in a pit stop, you're going to be struggling. As I expect to see all of the drivers on the mediums, like I said, you shouldn't expect a pit stop. I don't even think you can set yourself to drive on the super softs. I may be wrong. Obviously, the drivers will tell me post-race. As we only need one thing here.
Looks like everybody's on the mediums.
It is indeed. It is indeed. And something that's a bit crazy as well is, like I said, high tech, starting down in 9th and 10th, but the Dams team, looking really strong from 1st and 8th. If Generation A was to hold Fins and Leclerc back for Will to take a decent amount of points, because Fins and Leclerc are really quick, and if Generation A can defend, and Will can get a decent amount of points from this, then then the Dams team could be on for some decent points for the whole weekend.
Definitely.
Obviously, I'm a massive fan of the team game. I prefer seeing teams win the constructors over the drivers. I mean, I respect drivers that are fast enough to win the drivers. The Drivers' Championship, but I'm a massive fan of the Constructors' Championship, and it'll be rather interesting to see which team comes out top, because the teams are fairly balanced here in SFR for F2, as the drivers look to be coming through Castle, and it doesn't seem like anyone down the back is being that guy that holds the rest of the pack up. Just they've got
not at the moment, no.
warmer
Everyone
tyres.
seems to be in a nice line. Nice even amount of gaps between everybody.
If there's one thing that I will complain about whilst we are live, it is when drivers hold up other drivers just so that they've got warm tyres.
I tell you what, it's going to be an interesting battle straight from the start between Goose, Rosberg, Will, and Evan Highlands with Corbin right there in 5th. I mean, that is. I mean, you can see we've got Tier 2 race winner. Rosberg was right up there. Big Will, he runs great all the time around street circuits, as you say.
Yeah, and not just that, but he's consistent with his lap times.
And
his lap times like maybe a 10th gap between them.
I think he's also getting that interesting factor of watching the pole sitter, SF2R Leclerc, who now starts back in 10th place. Try and work his way through, but I love it. I love the fact that it's going to make and force overtakes.
I do like that. I do like the fact that it forces the faster drivers to get past the quote-unquote faster drivers to get past the quote-unquote slower drivers. Because it makes,
Fastest driver, we'll say the fastest drivers on that day at that given track, because obviously they took pole, and that's why he's back in 10th.
But at the same time, it's like some of these drivers down the bottom end that were at the top in qualifying may be great at attacking, but not so great at defending, as we have 3, 4, 5 red lights. And it is lights out, and away we go. James had a great start. Demonic Angel had a great start. Rosberg's had an amazing start. Carbon's had an even better start. Generation A has also had a great start, as there is massive issues behind. Who have we lost? James is up 8 places, and there may actually be no safety car out of this.
That was at least 4 cars.
What happened back in the back?
I've clipped it, mate. It was big. Big.
That is mad. Like I said, James has had a brilliant start, up 8 places in the Carlin. Not such a great qualifying for him. He crashed and I think he retired.
How many cars have got damage? Let's see. DJ Danny has damage. Generation A, I think, has damage.
Generation A does have damage.
SFR Leclerc, I can't tell. I think he doesn't. Demonic Angel does. Demonic Angel does. I can't tell about Stomping Penguin.
I'm checking the rear wings of all of these drivers now, just to see if there's any rear wing damage on these. Doesn't seem to be. But SFR Goose losing out 2 places, Carbon up 2. Big gap starting to change there now.
There's a battle going on between. Who's that? Is that James and Finns? I think it's James and Finns.
It's James and Finns.
See what I'm saying? You've got a better exit through that S, and you're going to be able to get the move done. If the DRS was on, now you'd already be alongside and past before the DRS would have come open, and use that to pull away. That's the best way to try and get the overtake done there.
As James is looking to be the Danny Ricciardo, he doesn't commit to the inside line. He pulls out just the right time to stop any damage from happening.
You could have phrased that a little bit better.
Of course you're gonna laugh at pulls out.
At the right time to stop any damage happening. Come on, the whole sentence went together.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna laugh at that. I don't know why I continued. As Rosberg gets passed by Carbon. What a move from Carbon there. That was beautiful. I couldn't have timed that any better.
Lucky Do and Shu are also battling side by side at the moment. They're going into the corner and still going at it. I think Shu's managing to hold it off at the moment. Lucky Do, I mean,
we
another
did say
lot.
that Lucky Do has damage. No, he doesn't actually.
And there's the Leclerc
He
right
looks
behind
damage-free.
him. Leclerc, Generation A are right there. Back of 4 cars.
You said DRS still not active. Won't be active until the end
Lucky
of
Do,
the lap.
oh, he's gone! I don't know if he was pushed or if there was contact, but that was Shu going on the exit. He may have got on the curb.
From this.
Disqualified from session. Trying to turn around on track.
That is not fair. That is not fair. Street tracks, I'll say now, if we're at a street track and you are around just like Lucky Do is, and I don't actually have the time to be sat down there because SFR Leclerc is looking to make a move on DJ Danny.
Wow,
Side
that
by
was
side.
some big impacts.
There was an incident down here quite recently, actually, the end of last season. Tier 1, what is now Tier 1. Obviously, we only had the one tier last season. There was a bit of an incident down the main straight where the where the off-road is on the right-hand side. Myself and one of the other F1 drivers came together, and obviously it's a bit of an awkward bit of the track that. As Leclerc looks to around the outside again.
Yeah, it's going to go to the outside.
In fact, has he still got the position? He doesn't. Has he got the switchback though?
I don't know. DJ Danny's going to come across, shut the door. I think he's got the move done at this point.
DJ Danny also looks to have damage. I'm not quite sure where that came from. Maybe that
Generation
first
A
lap
is
incident.
also right there behind Danny, looking to try and get involved in this scrap. At the front, Evan Highlands has got past Goose. Evan Highlands on the 5th place currently. But Big Will's still leading this race. SFR Carbon in 2nd
2.1
place.
from Carbon.
Rosberg in 3rd. So head back, Generation A. Oh, this is going to be an intense battle up the straight.
Generation A going to be looking to be very careful through that last bit of Sector 2 where it comes towards the hill. We had a bit of an incident with another driver recently in Tier 1, and it caused a bit of a spin for the two
Oh,
of them.
look at the overspeed through the corner that Generation A got on DJ Danny.
However, I think DJ Danny may have DRS here. He does.
They both
He
will.
looks inside, he's got the inside. Now they're looking to attack SFR.
Generation A, he's got damage, hasn't it? He's missing the right end plate. In fact, both of those cars have. Yeah, they're damaged.
Yeah.
That's why SFR Leclerc should be able to just pull away. If he's damage free. You've got Goose in his sights just in front.
DJ Danny holding the inside line. He done exactly this last time. And he keeps the position this time. Keeps the position, and he doesn't need to worry about the switchback either because Generation A is just a bit too far behind. Demonic Angel 1 minute 1 second down from James.
Right there. Bad exit from DJ Danny. We approach the castle section. Oh, moment of oversteer there for Generation A, caught it nicely. Maybe the dirty air off of Danny.
Beautiful castle section for the two of them. Beautiful castle section. In fact, that's probably the best I've seen two drivers go through castle. Now, if you're DJ Danny, I mean, I know what I'd do, but if you're DJ Danny, are you looking to let Generation A pass you here? Keep behind him and then take the DRS into turn 1, or are you?
Well, that's the thing, because he now won't have DRS this time around, like he did from being close enough to Leclerc last time. This time, when Generation A gets him, and he's going to have the overspeed again through the corner. Oh no! Generation A's clipped the wall.
No damage done by the looks of it this lap, though. He obviously does have that issue where he's got to come from a bit further back. The overspeed is there, though. As Finn's posted the fastest lap of 150, Leclerc posted the fastest lap of 152.6, previously
Generation A is going to make the move to the outside.
But they're both there.
DJ Danny
keeps
fighting
that
it
position. He might be under threat this time, though, because he's coming from a lot more of a narrow angle.
Oh, whoa, no! Generation A caught the curb on the way through on the inside. At the moment of oversteer, managed to keep it, but I don't think it's going to leave him close enough to the back of the number 8 car, the number 8 position driver, DJ Danny, at the moment. He's going to have to wait until the main straight.
I think he might. I mean, this bit of the track is tight. I mean, it's not so tight here. It's quite a bit of a distance between the walls, but from about this turn onwards until after the castle, it is quite loose.
Actually caught and got past SFR Goose. As TAS Rosberg is only 7/10 behind Finn's. Finn's looking a little bit slidey there, as I'm on board with Rosberg in this battle for 3rd and 4th place, as Rosberg actually bounces off the wall himself. Both of these drivers pushing hard.
Indeed, I mean, I can't keep my eyes off of this battle. It just gets closer and closer every corner, and then on the exit of the corner, it just gets a little bit further away. Obviously now Generation A looking to stick with DJ Danny. I mean, the gaps aren't actually that massive. In fact, Rosberg dipping in and out of the 1 second gap.
Yeah, he
now
just missed DRS.
Generation A coming back from about 4/10. DRS is open now. Can he get the move done this lap? He has. He's got it done. Finally, it's taken him 3 or 4 laps to get the move done. but he's finally got it done. If DJ Danny gets a better exit here than Generation A does, he could have him into turn, I believe, turn 3? Yeah, turn 3. He's got the speed, he's got the drive, he's not got the distance though. It's just not long enough that straight in an F2 car to get
Critically
it
though,
done.
Generation A was right behind SF2R Leclerc and has lost so much time in that fight with DJ Danny.
It's not easy, but DJ Danny, I mean, he admitted that this is his first time in F2 cars on this game, so he's still getting used to them.
But SFR Carbon is closing the gap down to Big Will. It was over 2 seconds. It's not come down much, but it is coming down.
Yeah, now 1.7. Oh, beautiful aerial shot here. Absolutely beautiful aerial shot on DJ Danny and Generation A. As they look to have closed down now on Goose. Goose is there, and he's going to cause an issue for DJ Danny.
He's going
He
to
was
give
looking to get that
Generation
move
A,
done.
yeah, he's going to give Generation A DRS.
This is massive for
Look at
for
the
Generation A.
overspeed that Generation A has from the corners.
Oh, they're going to go side by side into the...
What?
how are they still
What a
alive?
move!
How are they still alive?
Oh
All three
my
of
god!
In fact, he's not. If anything, Goose has got the DRS. Oh, they're 3 wide. I can't watch.
Goose out is incredibly
3
clever by
wide
Goose.
down into the... That is brilliant by Goose. As he goes deep. They've let Generation A back into the fight.
Oh, what a move! Generation A retakes the lead.
What is going on?
It's not the lead of the race, obviously they needed this little mini battle, but some brilliant switch-arounds there. Incredible
See,
battle
on
going
board
off.
with
DJ
Goose,
Danny,
the battle in front.
he's going to go around the
this side, oh.
outside. Is he still? He's got it done around the outside. Takes the inside line. Generation A is going to get the better exit in the inside for the next corner.
But DJ Danny has the inside for that corner, and then the following corner, which is exactly...
Not the one
I was
you
gonna
want,
say
though,
what he
'cause you have to go
wanted,
over
but-
the curb. No, because that's a high curb on the inside of the second part. Will make you slow you down and make you bounce.
As SF2R Goose is having a bit of troubles with that front wing of his. There's not much to it anymore. It's basically being held together by some string and some dreams.
Carbon, in the meantime, has closed the gap down to Big Will, is now within DRS for the lead of this race. That's 7 of 11. SFR Carbon, 7 tenths, chasing down Big Will, approaching DRS.
I think Will got a bit too comfortable being out in the lead, but DRS wide open immediately for Carbon. It's going to help bring that gap down even quicker for him, as they're actually approaching a lapped car, which may help Will. They're approaching what I believe to be James. It is James. They're approaching James. It's only about a corner. There's only about, yeah. Do you know what? I was going to say there's only about 3 or 4 seconds between them, but I'm even smarter and I can find out what the gap is. It's 1 minute 39 seconds between them so far. Obviously from James having to catch Big Will. There's been an incident behind. That seems to be possibly Demonic Angel. I'll go have a look at that. He's around. He's just like Generation A and DJ Danny 2, who are still fighting. As SF2R Leclerc is now on the back of Evan Highlands, and Evan Highlands is on the back of Rosberg. What is going on?
Fights all the way through at the moment. That was somebody in the wall.
Oh, it's too hard to keep an eye on a battle at the moment. I mean, there's a couple of tenths between Generation A and DJ Danny, and there's a couple of tenths between Rosberg and Evan Highlands and Leclerc, and there's literally 2 tenths, 3 tenths between Big Will and Carbon.
I think we may see the lead change any moment as they do approach the final, well, the back straight, start-finish straight. Carbon.
Have crashed and done a
Safety
oh.
car, safety car.
St. Castle. In
That
fact,
is
I
a
think
safety
Stockton
car.
Ben's coming up to it now. He is. Oh, Demonic Angel has done a Charles Leclerc. He's probably a really smart guy, but in that position, you've got to quote the man. Gotta quote the man. One lap of safety car. Yeah, that should be correct actually. If anything, this has just helped James because that's going to bring him back in the running. Let's go and have a look, see what tyres people are on, because we have the ability to do that. James on the super softs, Evan Highlands on the super softs.
I mean,
And
the leaders
Generation
can't
A
really
and
pit
SF1R
now, though,
in there
can
as
they?
well.
Like, if they pit, they're going to give Evan Highlands the lead on the super softs. And
They pit now, and yeah, they will. It's all about track position at this point. I mean, Big Will is smart not to pit here.
I mean, I
He
suspect
has track
we've got
position.
the safety car for at least one more lap, which means we're only going to get one racing lap, unless it goes in this lap.
Yeah, I mean, this could be a bit of an issue for the likes of Goose and Generation A, who have all recently come out. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, Evan Highlands is still not anywhere near Castle just yet. In fact, he's just about to approach Castle any second now. And everyone's further behind that. Obviously, the safety car doing F1 speeds, so pretty much flat out for these guys.
Nice.
It isn't too much of an issue because it keeps the tyres warm, I guess. See, I
It is in.
Oh,
It
safety
is
car is
in.
in this lap. So Evan Highlands may not actually get the bonus. In fact, Evan Highlands might, but I
He's got
don't
2
think
laps,
Generation A will have that boost that he thought he might. Obviously, I'm not sure what the rules of engagement are when it comes to the safety car coming in and you being a sector behind.
Oh, 5-second penalty for severe collision with G. Rosberg. That was with Finns.
Yeah, I think both of them got in there actually.
Now
I'm just gonna have a check.
Now safety cars closed up. That could see those two to the back of the pack.
Could do actually. It could see him down to 8th and 9th if Goose can't get on the back of this fight. In fact, he might be able to. In fact, I don't think I've seen anyone have a brilliant start from that. As DJ Danny gets past Evan Highlands. There is a 4-way scrap for P3. A 4-way scrap for P3, and Leclerc is looking to go around the outside of Rosberg. They touch, but it's just enough to keep them both out of the wall. And
there is contact. Oh, that is
Finn's in the wall. He is not going to be happy about that. DJ Danny now gaining from that. So Generation A and Evan Highlands making the moves through the pack. Evan Highlands looking to attack now into a controversial corner because you can pretty much cut
there's
it.
contact there as well.
As Evan Highlands doesn't have a front wing. I think he's just taken damage. He has. He got nudged into Castle. He's missing a front left end plate.
That may have come a little bit earlier. That may have come a little bit earlier.
No, it did. It came from Castle because obviously he's got the fresh set super softs on.
Back up at the front now, SFR Carbon, 4 temps on Big Will. Lap 10 of 11.
There is
Big Will
going
has
to
led
be
this
no
entire
DRS.
race.
I don't think. I think what did they come in last lap? Came in this lap, so yeah, I don't think they're going to get DRS.
Big one might be able to hold this. It's Rosberg and Danny side by side. Oh dear. They're still at it.
Oh, this is mad. I cannot believe exactly what has just happened. The safety car has thrown a spanner in the works here at SF2R.
Rosberg and Danny
With
again
only-
side by side.
What was it, 3 laps remain when the safety car came out? That was intense. Definitely intense. And DJ Danny now looking to fight with Rosberg. He's going to want to get past as soon as he can. He either gets past or he sits where he is comfortable and allows himself to take I think it's like P4 on the grid at the start of the second sprint race. Just trying to do maths off the top of my head, and Leclerc now is on the back of Carbon, who's dropped all the way back from 4 tenths to 9 tenths
Generation A picks up a penalty.
in next to no time at all. Evan Highland's 2.2 back, 2.1 back from Leclerc now. I don't think he's going to be able to get anything done here.
The line.
But I think the scrap now lies with Leclerc and Carbon. Obviously, Carbon's going to want to be defending from Leclerc.
Generation A, Evan Islands might come under pressure from Generation A towards the line as well. I don't know how much.
Leclerc
He can
gets
get in
it
that
done. He's
slipstream.
followed Carbon perfectly.
Maybe
He's got it's a nose. There's like
Generation A.
a car's width in it. Leclerc picks up fastest lap of the race as Evan Highlands takes P4. Generation A takes P5. DJ
What? I
Danny.
don't know what the gap was. Who knows who it was?
This has been.
I want to know. I want to see. Is it on the screen? No. Why isn't there a gap between? Honest to God, they were side by side. They were literally side by side.
It's not going to give me the gap between them. However, I can confirm Generation A takes the fastest lap of the race on a 151.9. Leclerc, yes. I almost said the exact same thing. You are right, my guy. Holy shit. That was insane.
Crazy that was. Crazy end.
I watched the overspeed Leclerc had on Carbon. He pulled out just as they come around. And Leclerc gets driver of the day. Leclerc gets my driver of the day. I don't know about you, but it's hard because I want to give it to Generation A as well, who battled Rosberg with Danny for so long. Oh, it's too tough. Oh, who do I give it to?
It's Leclerc. He made that battle look easier.
He did, but do you know what? I'm gonna keep both of them in mind for the overall driver of the day. However, as it stands, this is the results for Sprint Race 1. SFR Big Will starts on pole, finishes first, takes the 15 points, and that is a win for him. SFR Leclerc, all the way from 10th, finishes second in the high-tech. What a great race he had with SFR Carbon. Only managing to move up, I think, 2 places. In fact, he did only move up 2 places, finishing third, taken on the line pretty much by Leclerc. Evan Highlands finishing 4th. Generation A finishing 5th after a stunning battle with DJ Danny. DJ Danny finishing 6th, again, who had a stunning battle with Generation A and Goose. SFR Goose is finishing in 7th, who unfortunately lost a few positions tonight, and due to pitting. TS Rosberg finishes in 8th, even though he had a brilliant race, and Stomping Penguin is also there, and he had a brilliant start too. Finn's dropped down the positions and complained a little bit, but James finishes in 10th, and James in 11th. Demonic Angel, Lukey Doo, and Punitive Shoe all rounding that out. However, Demonic Angel, Lukey Doo, and Punitive Shoe did unfortunately DNF or get disqualified for reasons which only the game can tell us why they stripped them.
And then there was a big incident at the start though.
Obviously, with that being said, the grid does get moved around again for the sprint race. Finns will line up on pole. Stomping Penguin will line up in second place. Second row of the grid will be Rosberg and Goose, third and fourth respectively, and DJ Danny, Generation A, two drivers who fought so valiantly when it came to it recently in the final, the dying lap of the last race.
Nosebleed.
They'll start on the third row, fifth and sixth. The Welshman Evan Hylands, I think he's the only Welsh driver on the grid, will be seventh ahead of Carbon in eighth, with Leclerc and Big Will rounding out the top 10 in ninth and 10th. James will be in 11th with Demonic Angel in 12th. Lukey Doo in 13th, and Punitive Shoe starting all the way down in 14th place. Stomping Penguin says, "Oh no, nosebleed. Trust me, my guy. Keep it clean and you'll be alright. You'll get through and Rosberg will help push you through. He's a great driver. Just defend from him at the start, and because Rosberg had a brilliant start last race."
I just feel if you can get away clean and then just concentrate on, forget everybody else, just concentrate on you just lapping the track like you would normally when you're practicing, and you'll find that while everyone else is battling behind you, that's the best time to concentrate like that, because you're just able to pull away. That's what you got to do.
Yeah.
People are slower while they're battling. Easier to pull away.
Exactly.
When someone's got clean air racing you, the pressure's then on again.
It is. From personal experience, the two high-tech starting where they are, 10th and I think, what is it, 1st and 9th. Yeah, that's going to be brilliant for them, because if Finns get out and get some decent points in first place, and Leclerc can get himself back up to a podium again, that's brilliant points for the high-tech team. Carbon is saying this car is undrivable. I'd like to know what happened with the setup there, Carbon, because you had a pretty decent setup going into the race about an hour before we started. About that. Probably. See if we can get Swayze. Swayze. Has. They are, and I think we're actually back with the stream now. had to go and switch another device off. There's my bad. It switched itself on and decided it wanted to do its own updates. Thank you for that, Xbox. As the cars are all lined up now, thankfully that was on the formation lap and not mid-race, because I may have cried. I do apologise for that, ladies and gentlemen. As I'm now going to have to pull up everything I need. They are indeed, and they are out. And no one's moved. They've all had about the same start. Rosberg has nailed. No, Stomping Penguin's held the position. He's gone deep. He's given the position away, but I think he's still just about there. We're still going to navigate turn 2. I think we've navigated turn 2. We've got through turn 2. Oh, the hot and cold sweats can stop. Oh, good lord. As Finns. Oh. That is not right from anyone back there. In fact, it is still so close. Look at Leclerc just... Leclerc just being patient, picking up scraps, and he dropped a position off the start, I believe. Leclerc just picked up scraps. He's all the way up now to P8. I say all the way up now to P8, but didn't have far to go, unfortunately. Just tight everywhere. DJ Danny posts the fastest final sector, which is always a bonus, because if you can post the fastest final sector, it means you can post the fastest first and second, which gives you the fastest lap of the race, I suppose. Again, Biggles moved 2 drivers out of his way there. Danny is looking potentially to get that move done on Rosberg. Switchback, maybe? No, didn't quite have the drive for it. To Castle we go now for DJ Danny. And Generation 8 is benefiting from this. Maybe potentially if he can get a good drive down now towards the end of Sector 2. Leclerc, P6. DRS, remember DRS is active at the end of this lap. May doesn't have without that DRS, obviously he's not going to have the ability to get past him properly, but he does. Good little move there up the inside. Enough gap between the two of them. A lot of respect shown between them. As DJ Danny now looking to get past Rosberg. He does. Can he keep it? He's round the outside. He's got the move done. Good move there from DJ Danny, now sitting in second place, hunting down the high-tech driver of Finn's. As Leclerc now on the back of Generation A, looking to get his fellow F2, I say fellow F2 driver, a good friend of his actually, two drivers really close in pace. Can Leclerc pass Generation A? He's leaving a gap for Castle because he knows how sketchy Castle can be. We all do. I mean, you pick the name Leclerc, you know, you've got to know the heritage that comes with it. And last time, well, we all know about However, Evan's quite lucky here because obviously Evan, prior to Rosberg dropping that gap, was out of DRS. So obviously he's now got the DRS back as Leclerc has a brilliant drive down on Generation A now. Is he going to get enough to go down the inside? He's not. Even Evan doesn't try to go down the inside of turn 1 on Rosberg. Leclerc looking to see if he can see the distance between himself and the second corner. As Generation A was slightly in the way there. Generation A has got a brilliant drive as Evan Highlands moves to the right past Rosberg. Side by side, he's been pushed out. Generation A picking up scraps, maybe gets very close. Obviously, I mean, if you're Leclerc here, I'm running on board with Leclerc because it's a brilliant view. It is. I mean, they've been asking for B-roll footage for an F2 intro, and well, I think out of the first 3 races of the season, they've got just that. I mean, the gap has never been closer for Generation A and Rosberg. Obviously, Rosberg having Evan Highlands behind him last lap. As long as Generation A can get a good drive here, which he does, he's got a much better drive. Look at the outspeed from Leclerc. They haven't even got to DRS and he's almost got the move done. It was almost 4. He's got all 3 of them. As TS Rosberg has been spun around slightly. I think that was a combination of a bit of wheel spin and a slight tap, which is very unfortunate, but yeah, they say 3 into 1 doesn't go, but 3 into 1 did go that time. 4 into 1 went actually. There was a nose shown as well by Rosberg when it all came to it into the first corner, and well, Leclerc picked up the scraps exactly as he would have wanted to. Like you said, waiting patiently, pounced at the right opportunity. He had a brilliant drive out of the final corner, down into the S section. As Generation A's got damage. Generation A's just picked up damage. Now this is where the battle will come down to it, because we are now looking at seeing if SF2R Leclerc can close down on DJ Danny. It's a fight that I have been wanting to know for some time. Obviously, it's not in the cards that I wanted to see it in, or commentate on it in. But you know, F2 cards are just as good. I do love my F2 commentary. I do love doing a bit of a commentary on multiple races all in one. It gives me a chance to to showcase the potential of these drivers, and you don't quite see that in Tier 1 or Tier 2. I don't know about you guys when you're commentating with Kieran, but I don't think you see the showcase that these drivers have got in F1. Apart from this season. But no, like, for instance, obviously, the drivers complained about it a lot last weekend, about how badly they were sweating. Last Wednesday, sorry, about how badly they were sweating. Because obviously these cars don't have power steering. So when you're turning a corner, especially at a place like Monaco where you're constantly turning, there's never a part of the track where you're not. You know, you've got 3 races and a half an hour qualifying session where you are basically on non-stop racing, pretty much. You get like 3 minutes to breathe between races, and the cars don't turn in anywhere near as easy. And I haven't done a single lap of F2 Baku this season, on this game anyway. I did quite a few in the last game, competed in an F2 league as well, which was a bit of fun. But, I mean, I can only imagine how badly these are sweating as it is. In fact, I'm pretty sure at the end of this race, Leclerc would have heard it and will probably come in and tell me that he is dripping from every orifice on his body. It is Stomping Penguin. He is indeed. I think it'll come down to a last lap battle, or a last 2 lap battle. But I don't think Leclerc is going to get the move done on Danny. Like, he might get the move done, especially if it's a 2 lap battle, on one of the DRS straights. But I can see Danny coming back the following lap, to potentially take the win. I'm not too sure. It's a tough one. It's tough to decide between these 2 drivers because of the caliber. Oh, Fins will take the win, but between DJ, Danny, and Leclerc, I can see it being. He's also a really good defensive driver. I think I've only ever seen him have one incident whilst defending that's really been an unfair sort of defensive maneuver on the car behind. And I think that's when he was having problems with his wheel one race and got it fixed in the following race. Similar situation happened and it didn't happen again. Benefit the doubt. And like I said, he's a great defensive driver, very fair. He's not going to sit there and punt you because you're going to pass him. As much as we would have loved to have seen Max do that to Lewis. DJ Danny pulls to the right. I don't think he needed to just yet. There is a 2-second gap. And he's running a bit of a higher downforce. Maybe the downforce is slightly higher for question in the chat: can Leclerc do it? Can Leclerc do it? I don't think he can get the win. I do think that Fins is too far ahead for either Danny or Leclerc to catch. I do think that the gap is too far. However, I won't rule him out finishing second. Yeah, because, I mean, he'd have to Well, yeah, there's always a possibility. So you can technically say he can do it with provisions in place. However, if I'm not mistaken, Leclerc does start first for the feature race. A 15-lap race where there will be a pit stop, and I know exactly what tyre strategy Leclerc will use, as I've seen him run very, very similar strategies previously. But maybe he might have learned a lesson when it comes to that tyre strategy. I don't know. Maybe I'm going to take that back. Danny's just going to need to push that bit harder now to keep his position. But we've got 2 laps remaining. Finish lap 9, finish lap 10, 3 laps remaining actually. Again, to be fair, like I did say, DJ Danny has admitted that he hasn't driven an F2 car so far this season, so it's going to take a second. It's going to be a tough battle for P2 with the final laps. It is. Leclerc is now on the back of him, 5/10 of the gap. In fact, the only gap that is as close is the Monarch Angel on Punitive Shoe, and that is a 6/10 gap. In fact, let me see if I can find out roughly where that battle is. That battle is outside of Castle. I think. No, it's not. It's down at the end of Sector 2. So that move could be done. Oh, I don't want to move him for this battle, but I'm going to have to. In the DRS zone. I've seen drivers clobber it a lot harder than that. He's in the DRS though. It's not close enough for the DRS. Down the final straight yet. He's just inside. Leclerc got a bit squirrely out of the corner of that final S there. Good pressure by Danny. Brilliant pressure by Danny, but Leclerc's going to come back at him. He's not going to make the attempt just yet, but he does have the DRS now. Better drive. Bit of determination, I guess. I'm guessing, anyway. Down into turn 3, he's not got the gap. The gap was just too long. However, there's a yellow flag, and that's going to be Stomping Penguin, unfortunately. Actually, that's just ahead of these two. Stomping Penguin going to have to let the two almost front runners by him, obviously within the next couple of corners. Blue flags will be waved, and knowing Stomping Penguin, he's just gone into runoff. Research track Penguin, if you can hear me. Oh, he's retired from the session. In fact, he's retired in a decent place because it's in the off-road. It's quite easy to put a car there. Got the better corner speed. Danny had a better exit there. It's dirty years, not great gear though. Leclerc's already got the DRS open. DJ Danny's going to have the DRS for the final lap though. I've seen drivers find more time from less. DJ Danny. Oh, he hits the brakes too early. Too early. And DJ Danny's tried to send it down the inside, and it is not paid out. As Finn's now someone who hasn't had much screen time in this race because he has taken the lead and run with it, is coming through Castle. Brilliant through Castle. I can see why he's kept the lead all race. Yeah, I mean, he just sort of like lined the car up for the exit. Like, didn't line the car up for the entry, lined it for the exit. And just kind of dead-footed it through there. As it comes up to the S's, left-hander, right-hander. Brilliant drive, absolutely brilliant drive from Finns. I've got to give the man credit where credit is due as he comes down into the DRS section without having it, gives us a weave. Congratulations, Finns. The man from down under takes the win here at Baku in the second sprint race as Leclerc does just the same. He finishes in second. DJ Danny, unfortunately, having that incident, finishes in third. And I couldn't get Evan Highlands, but Evan Highlands. Big Will in seventh, Carbon in eighth. That's unfortunate for Carbon. He did say he picked the wrong setup on his car, so it's not been a great weekend, a great Wednesday for him. As Goose crosses the line now in ninth place. James finishes in 10th. Obviously, no other drivers have penalties. In fact, only one driver picked up a penalty in that race, and that was Finn's. James now crosses the line in 10th. Punitive Shoe is still in Sector 2. Following three drivers have some time. Nice. Have you re-included your audio? Do you want to uninclude it? Yeah, do you want to uninclude it and then re-include it? As Punitive Shoe crosses the line to finish in 10th, and Demonic Angel comes down now. Not too much of a gap. If anything, Rosberg could still get this. I say Rosberg could still get this. Yeah, I mean, if Demonic Angel and Rosberg both cross the line very close to each other. Yeah, I don't know if we can hear. Leclerc gets driver of the day again, but I'd see it. Yeah, it was, but Finn's got out early and just dead-footed the whole lap. It's hard to give it. But Leclerc did make a decent amount of moves, and you kind of got to give it to Leclerc, and I think he might end up getting overall driver of the day. He got pole. He came, second in the last race? And second in this race. It's been a brilliant drive from him so far tonight. 41 for the... Alright, okay, we'll make a new party and we'll start it that way. Lady, would you like to make a new party and then only invite me? Thank you very much, sir. And while Swayze does that, I'll give a rundown of how the finishing order ended up being. Finn's finishes in first. SF2R Leclerc finishes in second after a brilliant drive from ninth. DJ Danny finishes third. Evan Highlands in fourth. With Generation A in fifth. And Lukey Do in sixth. Big Will in seventh. Carbon in eighth. Goose in ninth. Drops positions from the start. James in 10th. Up positions. And Punitive Shoe in 11th. Demonic Angel didn't move from his starting position, so he will finish 12th, with Rosberg dropping all the way down from 3rd to 13th down to 13th, and Stomping Penguin will finish in 14th, unfortunately. Try that now, sir. So, the grid from the final finishing order from the qualifying is exactly how we're going to look here. But if you can't quite remember how it finished, this is how it finished. And this is how the drivers will line up for the feature race. SF2R Leclerc takes pole after finishing second just previously in the previous two races, and Finns starts in second himself, with Generation A lining up third and DJ Danny in fourth, Lukey Doo in fifth, Carbon in sixth, Evan Highlands in seventh, T.S. Rosberg in eighth, Goose in ninth, and Big Will down in 10th, the pole position for the first sprint race. Shoe will start 11th, Donick Angel in 12th, Stomping Penguin 13th, and James 14th. Remember, James did have that DNF from the qualifying session. So we'll miss out on a decent starting position in this session. Now you're back, guys, I believe. We'll obviously have someone tell us in the Twitch chat
Yeah,
in a moment.
hopefully I can be heard now. Everything should hopefully be sorted.
Either Jamie himself will tell us, or someone in chat will.
Yeah, guess we'll find out. Woohoo! Woohoo! Yay! Cheer in the chat. Everything's working as it should, for a little while at least.
Put it right in. They can hear you. They love you, Sways. They love you.
As the clock is counting down, we're getting ready for the future race.
It is indeed. And I do have to say a massive thank you to those of you who are here watching tonight. Obviously, we're all here because we're either F1 fans or we're gaming fans, and that puts us in the caliber of quote-unquote nerds. And with Spider-Man having just been released yesterday, and it being in the UK, I think, yesterday evening.
Got my cinema tickets booked for Sunday.
It's still going to be in for a couple of days now, so obviously, for you guys to be here watching tonight, thank you very much. Obviously, it's not just tonight that you'll catch some action. Saturday, you will have... do we have Kieran this weekend?
I hope so.
I hope we have Kieran this weekend. If we do have Kieran this weekend, you guys will be racing, or commentating, sorry. Where will you be commentating? You will be commentating Spain. Oh, SFR Russell.
It's just a track I like.
Commentates Spain.
It's a track I like to complain about, to be honest.
Obviously, that is, again, provisional as long as Kieran is around. If not, then I may jump in if needs be. So that will be Saturday at 8 PM UK time. Right here on the SFR channel. Tier 2 will be, I believe, I think Leclerc said... Leclerc said it was Jeddah, but I think he got confused. Obviously, no announcement had been made, and I have spoken to Kieran. Kieran said it was supposed to be Austria, and that we were sticking to the current calendar. So Austria it is, what I've been told. So I will continue to keep with Austria as the theme for Monday, for Tier 2, where SFR Leclerc and SFR Carbon will be taking you through the action. Red Bull Ring. Pretty much a favourite of mine, based on, the company that's in the name of it. And then Wednesday next week, we come back here, I think. Do we come back here next Wednesday?
I'm not sure.
I don't know if we're racing next Wednesday.
I know we have the Christmas break coming up.
We do have the Christmas break coming up, so this is your last week with us. until the 5th in F2 anyway. But we will definitely have tier 1 and 2, so Saturday and Monday. And they will be at the same time as this started. And again, you guys know what time this starts. You guys get the notification. Feel free to follow along. And, you know, watch those races, as I know that there'll be action in all of them, as there will be action as soon as these 5 red lights go out. Which they go out, as 5 red lights are out, and away we go. And Lukidu has had a brilliant start. Evan Highlands has had not such a great start himself. He seems to have moved back up a position now, and going into corner number 2, and Fins keeps it ahead of Leclerc. Leclerc and Fins trying to drag each other through. There's a yellow flag back in sector 1. I think that's because all of the drivers are going slowly through turn 2.
I'm not sure if someone may clip somebody or.
I'd like to say we're single file again. We're not. There are drivers so wide. It's 2 by 2.
Big Will chasing down. I think it's Rosberg and Evan Highlands who are having a good scrap at the moment. Still going at it.
Rosberg is looking. Yeah, Rosberg and Highlands are looking to go for it there, but gap's starting to extend. Evan Highlands has dropped back 1.1 from Danny.
Well, interesting, also you don't have this up on the stream at the moment, but of course with this being the future race, pit stops are going to be in it, and there are a few different compounds out there.
Yeah, so this is what I was talking about. I knew that Carbon and Leclerc would go different with their strategy, but Bahrain, they done the same thing there, and it didn't pay off for them.
DJ Danny also gone the same way.
Yeah, he has, but again, DJ Danny's still quite new, so obviously taking that alternate tyre strategy is a call that he has made. Leclerc, though, and Carbon, they tried the same strategy at Bahrain, where they went to the alternate tyre to start, the longest starting tyre. And it cost them against Everett.
Well, at the moment, Leclerc seems to be having no issues closing in on Fins on the harder compound.
Yeah, it's not this bit that's the issue for them. The tyres are quite equal at this point in the race. It's later on when the mediums start to drop off, but the other drivers are then on fresh mediums, and they close that gap back up. And then the gap surpasses a safe, comfortable pit stop. So when they come in, they really have some work to make up. And like I said, the gap isn't that different when you're on fresh tyres.
For sure. At the moment, Finn's being able to hold the gap at around 8 tenths. Generation 8 just behind, closing in on the super softs on Leclerc.
And a very strong drive for Generation 8. Sticking to the super softs, the purple striped tyres.
Leclerc's just dropped out of the DRS. He's not active yet on this lap, I know, but you've got to try and stay within that zone, especially with Generation 8 closing in on him.
Dropped out. He's dropped out 1.1.
Maybe a little bit of run on next lap. I think it will be next lap when it's active.
Yeah, so it'll start on. So from turn 2 down to turn 3 this lap.
DRS in the Lucky being the only one in the front 4.
Shoe has really hit the wall, really badly actually. There is next to no front wing on the right hand side of that car. In fact, there is the bottom plate, and that is it on the right hand side. There's nothing left, and I wouldn't be surprised if he comes to the pits. He's not.
Oh, Generation 8's had a massive moment. He clipped the wall.
He is.
Lucky Dude's going to get the move done there.
Maybe they can pull each other through with DRS now. Maybe that's all they needed, was the DRS train to help get them through. Maybe they can help each other get that move done on Leclerc. The faster they get it done, the less time they have to wait behind him. The more time they've got to just open the throttle and...
I tell you what, DJ down there on the mediums is trying to find a way past Devon Island.
So,
I'm not sure
we
how
saw the
far
mediums
you
do
can
11
take.
laps.
Yeah. How far can you take the super softs?
Well, I'm gonna guess 4 to 6, but most drivers coming in on 5. At the end of lap 5, I'd say. Again, I might be wrong, and you might see some strange, wild undercuts, but obviously, you know, the likes of
Leclerc
Rosberg,
is
the Mulligan,
within
Verstappen,
DRS.
Penguin, and Thunder to Shoot all haven't pitted already.
Yep, Leclerc does. In fact, yep, get DRS on Fins. Not close enough to be able to make a move down start finish straight, but can close the gap right up. As we go back, it looks like DJ Danny, SFR Carbon, side by side. Big Wheel is right there, looking on the inside. Might try and get both of them. Backs out of it.
DJ Danny's still on the inside.
Incredible
DJ
view
Danny
from on
will
board
now
Will's car. Will's going to look to the inside on DJ Danny. He is on the faster tyre as Will. Oh, they're going to go. No, Will's going to back out of that. He's having none of it. He's going to wait for the mistake.
Pushing. I mean, in that situation,
Carbon's
obviously,
still there though, up the inside.
Will having a horrible time between these two.
He is, he just can't find a way through. As Carbon and Danny are battling hard between them.
Yeah, I mean, Carbon's defending really well. He always does. He won't let anything drop. As Rosberg comes into the pits, and James is in the pits as well. So the pit stops for them boys.
Tell you what we have
drop all the way down.
Leclerc is in the lead.
Leclerc is in the lead, but this battle just keeps getting more entertaining as the laps go on. And Fins have damage. He doesn't. Maybe those super softs have died off now. It's hot out there though, because at the end of the day, it is Azerbaijan, and you know the track temps. I guess the track temps are somewhere in the 30s, maybe even the 40s. I wouldn't be surprised if the air temps are in the 30s, with it being.
Super softs have got to be on the way out, surely.
Yeah, like I said, 5 laps. I'd be surprised if these boys didn't come in this lap.
DJ Danny. Carbon, you didn't invite back. Safety car, we've got a safety car.
Stream should be back up and running. A stream is back up and running.
Safety car, we have a safety car. No, those who are on softs, who were both ending their life at super softs who are at the end of their life, this safety car couldn't have come at a better time. This basically just gave them a free pit stop.
It has indeed, and this is not going to help. The likes of, let me bring up the tyres again, Leclerc, Danny and Carbon. Like you said, it's It's giving them a free start.
The Demonic Angel, is that DNF on the safety car? Or is that why the safety car's out? Because of where that is on the straight. And just see the wreckage
couldn't
there.
tell you.
It's in the essence. Who is going to pit Fins, of course, is Series Generation A, Lucky Do. Are none of the medium runners. Big Will be the next one of the Super Softs. Sure, he's going to dive in as well. I suspect all of the Super Soft runners will.
I'd be surprised if Goose doesn't.
Oh! Big Will did not need that. 5 seconds speeding into the pit lane.
No, that is unfortunate. He did slow down quite a bit as well, to be fair. It's about activating the pit limiter at the right time here, unfortunately, and Will just didn't quite pull that one off, as James now could find this useful and come in for his stop, as he's on fresh super soft. But if he comes in,
Yeah. You can stay till the end, I know what you're saying.
yeah,
Goose is just on his way out. James is going to pit.
Rosberg finding that safety car rather useful as well, because
Carbon.
I think
Carbon ditched his mediums and gone for super softs earlier.
he has.
So, the question is now, it was only the three runners of Danny, Leclerc and Carbon who started on the mediums. Carbon's ditched earlier. Is that going to benefit him? Is Leclerc and Danny going to be severely damaged by being forced to stay out? I mean, under safety car conditions, at the moment, 4 laps. Yeah. What do you reckon? You don't, 5 tops, is it?
Yeah, 5 or 6. Well, I mean, we saw drivers pit after 5, but 6 at the very, very, very most.
We're going to be under safety car for at least another lap yet. If you could push 7 out of them, you'd probably make it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's what he's thinking. Maybe he's thinking that the safety car is going to be out for a little while longer, and it's going to benefit him long term.
Leclerc's bailed. He pitted.
He has. That's definitely a strategy call that him and Carbon have come together and made. DJ Danny not having any of it just yet. I have now received a child. So please bear with me.
It's DJ Danny
Even
now.
chairman.
6 laps on those mediums, waiting for this safety car restart. Some of the pack still on the start finish straight. The longer it goes, the better for those super softs. More chance of making it to the end. Carbon, of course, the first one to make the plunge, going to be sat in 6th place. He's going to benefit at least 1 place, you would have thought, when Danny is forced to pit.
Yeah, Danny's going to have to come in this lap. I'm sure of it. I'm almost sure of it.
I don't know.
I don't know. I really don't know whether or not Carbon and Leclerc have nailed this strategy call. Because obviously the mediums that the other drivers are on are going to be really, really fresh and will go the will competitively go the distance. But I don't think it's the same for the super softs.
Well, Leclerc, what was his other choice? His other choice is doing what Danny is doing and currently staying out, knowing that you're going to have to possibly take your pit under live race conditions, which, of course, you're going to lose, what, 20 plus seconds? But Danny does pit. Oh, and he smashes the wall on the way in.
Is that a wing change? I'd like to see. It does look like it might be. It is going to be a wing change for Danny now, and that is going to take some time. And I don't think he's going to have had time to tell them no.
Where is Stomping Penguin? He's on his way up the straight. I think DJ Danny will get out in 9th place. Safety car should come in this lap, I would say.
You reckon Danny's nailed that call then, in comparison? Like, in contrast?
There's only one lap difference, and hardly any difference between Leclerc and Danny. Danny made it earlier. I mean, Leclerc making it earlier saved him an extra bit of traffic. He's got fellow SFR driver in front. If he can get a good safety car restart, don't see why he can't challenge to get past Will, get a fight with Carbon. And then, of course, the three in front though, Generation A, Lucky Do and Evan Heinens, they're going to have to race well, but also be able to defend well at this point from those two, Carbon and Leclerc. Let's see how long it takes Danny.
That's my theory here, because I think the safety car will be in this lap because of how long it's been out so far.
Yes, but Danny, like I say, where is he? He's not on the back of the pack yet.
Which is why my theory is the safety car bolts off here and Danny's behind a little bit. If Danny just holds back just a little bit and powers through out of the final corner, by the time that everyone gets the safety car restart done and they actually finally get moving,
no, you want to get up to the back of the pack.
If Danny's back at full tilt, he could easily gain some places. He's not going to. He's going to power through to see if he can get onto the back, but I'd have waited back a little bit.
No, you want to be there for the slipstream.
Remember, these guys are coming from what, maybe 60,
yeah,
70,
they've gone. It looks like Leclerc is side by side with Big Will. I think he's going to try and outbrake him down into turn 1 on the softer compound.
Moved on, but Will's also there with the switchback, ready. He's not going to lunge in.
Good respect between the two drivers.
Break the toe. As far Leclerc is looking to make a move around the outside of Evan. Doesn't even need to fight it. Evan's let the move be made. I think Evan pitted quite early as well, didn't he? So I think he knows that this isn't his battle.
That's so far Leclerc. We've seen some incredible overtakes from this guy today. Looking at the back of SFR Carbon just in front, there you can see 4th, 3rd, 2nd and 1st from on board SFR Leclerc. Right there in it with the freshest tyres out there. Lucky Do picks up a penalty. Lucky Do picks up a penalty. It's going to give Carbon and Leclerc easily a battle for the podium now. Only 6 laps remaining. I'm not sure you'll be able to pull 3 seconds. Especially with the 2 guys behind him being on the softer, fresher compound as well.
Exactly that, and I mean, if I'm not mistaken, Leclerc's had a really good evening as well. So with the extra fast laps and the pole position, I think even finishing where he is now, obviously he's going to get the P4 with Lucky Do having
Leclerc on Carbon.
That 3-second time penalty. He's now going to get that P3.
Lucky Do looking at Generation A in front as well, Bob at Carbon. Oh, they're still fighting. Look, he's going to go around the outside of Generation A. That is a brave move. Leclerc having to spectate that almost became vulnerable to Carbon coming back around the outside himself. In fact, I think they're still side by side.
Just about. Carbon's still got a wing there.
So Leclerc has got that done.
Slightly.
As Danny now
slightly
gets
too
past
deep
Evan
for Carbon.
Highland just behind. Evan
Scrapping
Highland then
for it.
slides it back past Danny. Danny on the Supersofts needs to be on the back of SFR Leclerc and SFR Carbon as they try and mount their attack on the drivers in front. 5 laps remaining as they push back through the pack after the pit stops. I don't know which battle to watch. They're everywhere at the moment. DJ Danny and
really,
Evan
really
Highlands are
In fact, DJ
extremely
Danny-
close.
He didn't have to drive through.
Oh, Evan Highlands hits the wall. You're going to get the driver out of the corner.
Danny gets the move done. As we say about that, if I'm not mistaken, DRS is active this lap, and I follow from Carbon's on board as he slightly mounts the left-hander of the S's curve a bit too much. Has dropped back a little bit. I think Leclerc may get the move done on Generation 8 and Lucky Do here. Remember when he got the 3 in 1? I think he may get 2 in 1.
Oh, he's going to go
Being
right
covered by
the
Lucky
inside.
Do.
He's going to
Stick
get the
with it,
better
he can
grip,
get that
better
move
grip
done.
on the exit. Oh, he's going to go. That is a brave
Brilliant
move.
by Leclerc. He's still there, all 3 of them.
Excellent. Oh,
That
there's
is-
contact. Oh, that is. Oh, big bada boom.
I think Leclerc's at fault there. I think
Ooh.
Leclerc's at fault.
We will not
I
discuss
can't
that.
say, obviously I'll let the stewards decide, but I think a lot more racing space should have been given. If you're going to fight 3 into a corner that only allows 2.
DJ Danny though got through unscathed and now finds himself in a podium position on the Supersofts, chasing down Leclerc, who is in turn chasing down Fins, trying to have to defend on the mediums. 4 laps remain. Fins could be under serious pressure just to finish 3rd at the moment.
Yeah, quite right. And as we say about that, I mean, Generation 8, one of the drivers that did lose out in that battle, is now on the back of SFR Big Will. SFR
Goose.
Sorry.
Goose just got through there, going into the castle section, as Generation A has a moment of oversteer on exit.
And Lucky Do and Carbon are, Lucky Do's behind that as well, so he's on the back of this battle. Obviously, there's a 5.5 gap between Goose and Big Will. But if you're Big Will, knowing that your teammate is coming through and could be on for some decent personal points this weekend, there's like this on the whole weekend itself on this Wednesday. Would you slow down a little bit and help maybe try and get that position given?
Sorry, I'm just enthralled with the battle. Generation A just got past Goose there. In the background, is that Carbon and Lucky Do is in the pit?
Yeah, Lucky Do dives into the pits and takes a DNF. I don't think he's got any more tyres to fight this. Generation A now looking to hunt down his teammate Big Will, who is in turn hunting down Evan Highlands.
Indeed, I gotta say at the moment though, the gap holding out between Fins and SFR Leclerc.
Fins having some great points this weekend, and we give Leclerc driver of the day for 1 and 2, but Fins got decent points in both. And if he gets points here tonight in the feature race, that's even more points for Fins. I can see High Tech being top of the constructors for definite by the end of this.
For sure.
Obviously, we'll have to wait for the official announcement. As Big Will is only 8/10 behind Evan now. Keeping an eye on this gap to his teammate. He's holding at about a steady 5.7.
Big Will. The only car out there, it's in DRS I think. No Carbon is in also DRS of Goose. So keep an eye on that battle.
I think Bigelow is just a bit too far back to get them. Maybe not. I'm not counting him out.
Carbon definitely eyeing up the move. Gonna go to the inside on Goose. It's gonna be DRS open. I think it's still signed in.
Ah,
Yeah, Carbon's got the move done.
it's a beautiful move by Carbon. In Guan Yu showed the newest addition to Alfa Romeo's lineup as he takes a step away from Formula 2 and into Formula 1.
3 laps
season.
remain, and when you go on board with Leclerc, you can see Finn's, the gap is tumbling. He's got him in sight. Target has been acquired now for SFR Leclerc. Can you finally take the top step in one of the races tonight?
Yeah, I think he's had a double P2 so far. I'm going to have to start writing this stuff down as we go along.
I've got to say though, it's going to be what, 7 laps on the... by the time he's done.
Yeah, there are going to be some laps on those super softs. Obviously, we were seeing drivers pit now at the end of what would be this lap for Leclerc. He's going to have to extend that and hope the tyres, well...
Extend it, he's still pushing.
He's
still pushing, he's trying to get the maximum out of them as he possibly can. Down to within 7 tenths now. DRS is going to be available. He's going to be sniffing lap number 1 of Finn, taking the top step of the podium. He's having such an amazing weekend.
Yes, I think Rosberg's in the barrier at Castle. He is. I don't think it's enough for a safety car at this point, though.
I think it's too late. Leclerc takes the fastest lap of the race.
I think that's all that Finn's is going to let him have.
I don't know, half a second at the moment. 14 of 15. DRS open again for SFR Leclerc.
Obviously, we'll see the graining start to come into effect on those tyres very, very shortly. I would be surprised if we didn't, as they have been on for quite some time. I predicted 6 would be the maximum you could do before you lost the pace. And he's done 6.
It's still there. That gap is still coming down. 4 tenths now. If you can hold the back of him, you may be close enough for an attempt down the start-finish straight. Who's going to come out strongest of section 2? As I think Finn's had a bit of a moment there. Looked like the car went quite sideways. But Leclerc, I don't know if he had to just drop off the throttle to maybe anticipate it or something, but the gap definitely got bigger.
It has increased. It's from 4 tenths to 7 tenths now. 7 tenths isn't that much when you think about it. I mean, you say I'm going to be a second and people go 1, and it's less than faster than someone can say 1. So not going to be easy.
Indeed. In the slipstream currently, DRS pops open. I don't think is he going to be. I don't think he's going to be close enough. It's going to have to be on the way down to the line, maybe for the final time. If SFR Leclerc wants that win tonight, he's going to have to rob it at the very last minute, unless he can get it done on this DRS straight here. Fins has a bit of a slide coming out of the corner, down to 2 tenths. DRS open. Leclerc is looking. He's going to move to the inside.
He's going to open himself in the final DRS straight. It's gone very narrow as well. Oh, this could be controversial.
Fins is right there behind him. It depends on how well he can hang on. As Fins hits the wall himself, does not want to lose too much time. SFR Leclerc already at 6 tenths. Seven tenths. With the older medium tyres in the DRS, I think he's going to need to be within the half a second bracket to be able to get the pass done before the line.
looking at the graining on the tyres, though, it does not look good for Leclerc.
SF4 Leclerc, but Finn's still, I don't think he's close enough at the moment.
I guess we're about to find out as Leclerc is giving the slip to Finn's.
He's going to have to give it everything that car has got, all the way to the line.
Finn's has got the slipstream, 5/10, and closing. He's got the slipstream, he's got the DRS, has he got the win in him? He does not. That is unfortunate for Finn's. Leclerc finishes first, Finn's in second. DJ Danny looks like he
I'll tell you who might, Big
third.
Will on Evan Highlands is going to be close to the line, he's going to be incredibly close to the line! Oh! Woo!
Generation A jumps Big Will as well, unfortunately due to the time penalty. Carbon finishes in 7th. Goose finishes in 8th place. It's a great finish for Goose. James is looking to come around the corner and keep his position. He will. 40 seconds to the gap between James and Penguin.
And then Rosberg is a further 3 seconds back from that.
Indeed he is. James finishes in 9th. Remember, if you do DNF before the line, because of some ridiculously stupid, showing off showboating skills, we will not classify you. Well, I mean, we will classify you, but if you're out of the points, then I guess you're out of the points. You do still class as a DNF.
Rosberg trying his best to try and bring that gap down. He brought it down by a second in just over a sector and a half there to stomping Penguin, but
Penguin finishes 10th, and Rosberg finishes in 11th. Last of the finishers, obviously, I think we lost 3. Being Lucky Do, Punitive Shoe, and I can't remember the last one off the top of my head. Finn's, I told you, Finn says he's drenched in sweat. Great drive from every driver tonight. It is not easy to finish a race in an F2 car, and to finish 3 of them is even better. But to win feels even better than that, and Leclerc does just that in his final attempt of the evening. Leclerc says, let's go high tech. Indeed, indeed. I'll have to run through the results. So the sprint race results are on screen as shows, as we do not have all of the time in the world. Sprint 2, again, results are on screen. Sprint 3, results are there, but now we'll take it all the way to the results for the weekend. As Leclerc wins, Finn's second, and Danny in 3rd. Evan Highlands in 4th, Will in 5th, Generation A in 6th, Carbon 7th, Goose in 8th, Lukey Doo 9th, James 10th, Rosberg 11th, Stomping Penguin 12th, Puntive Shoe 13th, and Demonic Angel 14th. Try and get the others in momentarily as we get to Fins, and I didn't mean to do that one. Try and get Danny in. I think he joined. I will go and check the Discord real quick. whilst we wait for DJ Danny's response, we will go back to the menu and into the showroom, across to Liam Lawson's car, and we will go to P2 first as we wait for, like I said, Danny's response. Finns, good evening. Oh yeah, good morning for you. Yeah, good morning. Just to make sure your audio's included, yeah?
Stop. Yeah, Finn's into the party, and then just click the tick box at the top.
There should be a box right at the top that says include party audio.
Yeah, include my audio. Are you actually on the Xbox, or are you on your phone or anything? Right, okay. We won't be able to interview him then.
Is the audio not included? No.
He can't, he's on his phone.
Oh yeah. So it ends up being that the only audio we can actually get is from Leclerc. For now. Unfortunately, Finns. But yeah, on to Leclerc. I will move across to his car then. Leclerc.
Hello.
Good evening. What a race that was. What a week. What a whole evening. I mean, you took pole. Obviously, that then put you 10th. From 10th, you finished second. From 9th, you finished second. And from first, you finished first. I mean, what are your thoughts about tonight's race? Well, tonight's whole event.
I don't even know, to be honest. Spun out on lap 1 just after turn 1, the first sprint race. I thought, right, well, this is going to be some recovery if I can get back anywhere near to battling. Thankfully, didn't lose too much time. It took me right up until the last lap to get onto the second step of the podium. Of course, Will won the first race, so happy with that comeback. Second race, just picked people off if and when I needed to. Because very just throwing themselves all over the place, and I was scared a little bit. Managed to go through the middle of, I think, Evan and Rosberg, and managed to get the move done. So that was quite fun. Yeah, just very entertaining sprint races, and then the feature race was a lot of tyre management.
Yeah, obviously, you mentioned the tyre management. How badly were your tyres screaming right at the end?
75 on the rear right.
Jeez, I looked at that rear right and I could see the double set of green, and I was like, oh, he might not make it to the end. We may have a Max Verstappen moment here. Obviously, you had to go onto those tyres earlier than anticipated. Did you think that was going to rule you out of the win?
I'm not too sure, to be honest. Finns was absolutely brilliant this week. Some massive point over. We got 90 points that weekend for high tech.
Yeah,
94 including pole position. We were already top, but we're even more top now. It was an absolutely mega performance from from him, and couldn't be prouder. And yeah, just great points for high tech. But can't really say if I was scared about winning or not. I was just even if my tyre blew, I had the gap behind to let Finns win and we come home in P2, which still would have been mega points. So yeah, either way, it worked out for us.
Yeah, and I mean, like you said, it was a great result for High Tech this weekend, but this Wednesday. Sorry, I keep saying weekend because it's a whole weekend event.
Yeah, we call it a weekend.
But obviously, you said it was a good result for High Tech. Will, Big Will himself, he's very cautious of his ability when it comes to F2 cars. I've spoken to him about this previously. He's got some fans in the chat pretty much every weekend, every Wednesday, every Wednesday and every Saturday for that matter, that he races. Do you reckon it was a good result for him this weekend?
It was a mega result for him. He done. We know how good Carbon is in F2 cars, and he done extremely well to hold him off. I know Carbon was complaining about a lot of oversteer on his setup, so it's unfortunate for him just losing out on P2 in the first sprint race by 28 thousandths of a second. But that's what happens in racing. You've just got to regroup and go again the following week, or in this case, in 3 weeks. But yeah, Will had a mega performance today, and he should be proud.
He really should. Silverstone in 3 weeks' time, due to the Christmas break and the New Year break as well. Obviously, that's going to give you 3 weeks of preparation. I mean, is 3 weeks too much? Is that like? I mean, some people say that there's like an optimum amount of practice you can do, the optimum amount of preparation. And is 3 weeks too much for you to keep fiddling with a setup for you that you think at one point might be just right, and then you come in and you adjust it the following week, and it might not be. It might feel right then, but then the first week might end up being the best setup you originally had. Do you think that could affect anything for the comeback?
Yeah, you don't want to practice too much because you'll be disappointed otherwise. So I'm going to enjoy this 2 weeks off and go into the Christmas period with another championship lead. Have some time to myself, spend some time with my family, and just have a good couple of weeks off before coming back and finishing off the season strongly.
I think it is well deserved, and I mean, you guys head now to, I believe I said Spain on Saturday, in F1. Obviously, try not to talk too much about that, but I know you said about your hatred for Spain based just upon the fact of the final chicane. And with the caliber of drivers we've got in Tier 1 now, do you think you've got it in you to continue competing for the championship with, again, that caliber of driver we've got in there?
Yeah, my teammates already said he's helping me to do it.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I know how fast your teammate is. Any words of encouragement for the guys that unfortunately DNF'd tonight, going across the Christmas break?
Don't let your heads drop. It's Baku. Incidents are going to happen. These cars are a completely different ball game. It takes time to adjust to them. Just believe in yourself, and eventually the pace will come. and you'll start picking up good results.
I don't think I could have said it better myself. Swayze, do you have anything you want to ask?
No, man, I think he summed it all up. But for me, I don't know if it's already been said. Definitely, overall driver of the day. Absolute stunning performance throughout all three races. And that 3-1 overtake was something special.
It was very fun to take part in.
Yeah, I don't know if Kieran's watching at the moment, but if he is, you wanted B-roll footage, and the first three races have got it all. Obviously, we've still got the rest of the season to come after the the Christmas break starting on January 5th, and well, I suppose the racing can only get better as the drivers learn to understand how the cars work and how each other works in the F2 cars. But like I said, we roll on to next week. Next week? No. Oh, Finns, are we back? Possibly not. Which is okay. We can. I'm pretty sure we'll speak to him at some point, and we'll probably end up speaking to him again at Silverstone. If he keeps up the pace he did tonight.
Before you do it, though, we'll get a statement from Finns for the guys watching, and we'll post it on our social medias, so you still will be able to hear from the Kiwi. Just keep an eye on our social medias, mainly Twitter, and you'll be able to read what Finns has said.
Probably the same with Danny as well. If Danny stays in F2, I think he said he was going to. So we'll probably get one from both, as they're both really great drivers, as shown tonight. Thank you for that, Jamie. As previously mentioned, Saturday night we go to Spain, where I think have we got Kieran this weekend?
It's TS Swayze and to be confirmed.
Okay, I'll speak to you about that in about 20 minutes.
Potentially, Arnie.
Not a problem. So it is currently TS Swayze and to be confirmed, my favourite commentator, who will take you through the action at Spain in Tier 1. And as we move on to Monday night, Tier 2, I believe I said we were at Austria, which is what I have been told by Kieran since last week.
It is Austria. I was looking at a different league's calendar. So,
which is completely understandable. So we moved to Austria. Possibly one of my favourite tracks. I've had a couple of good weekends there. Where Mr. Jamie himself will take you along the action alongside SFR Carbon, who, like you said, admitted he didn't have a great weekend, a great Wednesday, but he can always bounce back. And then we move into the Christmas break from there, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so the final race of SFR this year, which is scary to say, is Monday night.
Yeah.
So be sure, everyone, to come tune in Saturday and Monday, show all your support. There will be social streams over the Christmas period. Obviously, keep an eye on the Discord, and we can get all that sorted for you. But yeah, we do return on... Give me 1 second. We do return on Monday the 3rd of January for Hungary in Tier 2. We then, of course, come back to F2 on the 5th for round 4, which is Silverstone. And then we return with Canada on the 8th of January for Tier 1.
That is a spicy week in itself. There's going to be a few controversial moments I can see coming from that first week back, as all three tracks can throw some rather spicy incident reports at us, and I can imagine there are going to be some for the stewards to look over for this week as well. Swayze, do you have anything you would like to say before we sign off?
No, I mean, just congratulations to all the drivers. From the 2 times that I've managed to have the time available to turn up, you've made it look an incredible series to follow and be part of. So keep up the close racing, and I wish you all good luck with the season.
Swayze said it. So I will sign us off now. Thank you guys for watching. What a weekend! What a Wednesday night it has been with you guys. I mean, F2 always throws a few spanners in the works, especially with the fact that we now have 3 races to go by. And I mean, yeah, feel free at Spain. I have been SFR Jinx. Swayze has been the wonderful Swayze. This has been SFR, where competition is key. Thank you all for watching, and good night.
We got the symptoms of a cold war. All of our troubles are make believe. We're dying on our own soil. Calling your friends up to the teeth. There's nothing for you